Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Chef, and we are playing Thumper. It has taken me way too long to get around to this, but I'm finally starting. Now we've got 9 levels of ground to cover, but we're gonna start all the way back at level 1, just to give you the basics. I have been planning to do this commentary for a long time, but I've just had so many things getting in the way. The first of which being, how do you possibly do commentary on a game like this? Well, first of all, you do it in post, because this game, more than any other that I've played recently, is a game that requires your full attention. This isn't something that you can do an LP of live, unless, you know, the player is completely silent and you have a co-commentator in the background doing commentary on the game. There's just so much happening on screen and you have to really stay focused that trying to talk while playing doesn't really yield the best benefits. I know because I've tried, and because I've also seen some other LPers. I've seen Game Grumps try it, the guys at Funhouse, Jacksepticeye, and you can kind of tell that they're trying to add their usual commentary to the game, but it's kind of hard to focus. So I figured, hey, I'll just record the game and then commentate later. And I think that's the best way to do it. Now, this first level, honestly, isn't the best way to get an impression of what the game is as a whole. It's a good first level. It only teaches you the very basics, like turns, hitting thumps, and breaking through the little walls on the track. But besides that, there really isn't much else going on. And I worry that if people see this for the first time, they will look at it and think, oh, this is just, you know, kind of boring. And, you know, like, if this was your first time seeing Thumper, and this was all you saw, and you got bored from it, I would not blame you at all. Like, I'll admit it, even though I had seen plenty of footage up to this point, you know, before the game was released, when I finally played the demo at a GameStop last year, and it was like this level, but I think it was a little bit shorter, or no, I think it was the entire level. But anyway, the demo was based on this level, and you know, it was just this: a couple thumps, a few turns, a boss or 2 or 3, and then that was it. And it was fun at the time, but it felt a little, shall we say, I don't know, it wasn't bad, it was good, but it could have been better. I think it would have helped if the demo showcased one of the later levels, because they get a little bit more intense. Like, even level 2 picks up the pace way more than this one does. But again, this is the first level, it's very basic, it's pretty much a tutorial. Like, even, you know, your introduction to hitting thumps is a mini boss fight. So they're really, you know, keeping it real simple. But yeah, I don't remember when I was first introduced to the trailers for this game, but I don't know, something about it just hooked me. And the thing is, the trailer that I saw was a very early version of it, where it looks completely different. If you look it up on YouTube, I think it's an upload from 2013, I think, and the visual style was completely different. It didn't have this minimal, you know, setting to it. It was a lot more, I guess you could call it edgy, like you were going through tunnels that had all these weird zigzaggy things on the sides, and there were all these blades coming into the ground trying to hit you, and there was a lot more, how should I put this? I guess there were a lot more things that you could identify, certain shapes and things. Like, if you look at this track in this background, what do you see? You just see circle, you see these tubes, you see, you know, the speed lines coming at you. It's very stylized, it's very, I don't know what this is. it's a good look, I'll give it that. That's one thing for sure. This game looks good. And my PC isn't even all that great. Like, I have, what? I have like a 960 in this thing, and it runs just fine. Speaking of which, I actually had to record, well, I had to re-record all the gameplay for this game, because when I did it the first time, I did do it in 1080p, but the frame rate was a little bit choppy, but that was apparently because I had the encoder in OBS set to a certain setting, so I changed it to a low CPU setting, which causes a higher file size, but the frame rate is a lot clearer. And that's always a plus. So, gonna, you know, pat myself on the back a little bit. Good job, me. So anyway, this game is the dream of two people. A developer called Drool, which is made up of Brian Gibson, who is the bassist of a band called Lightning Bolt, which is a duo comprised of him and Brian Chippendale on drums. I've looked up a bit of their music, and well, it's not exactly like this. It's a lot more noisy, but it's pretty good. It's kind of some hits and misses. It's probably not my cup of tea, but there's some good stuff in there. You should probably look into it. And then, yeah, he was a co-designer of the game. And then the other person involved is Mark Fleury, who is the head programmer. He created the engine behind the game and all that stuff. And yeah, the two of them used to work for Harmonix on various Guitar Hero projects and stuff. And you know, you can kind of tell that this is sort of Guitar Hero-esque. I mean, you're going down a track and you're hitting notes. That's, I mean, you can probably say that about any rhythm game that might involve going down a tunnel of sorts. But just that slick design definitely feels Guitar Hero-ish. But yeah, this design definitely was not in that old trailer, so definitely give it a look when you get a chance. One thing I was thinking of when I saw this game, I actually thought it reminded me a little bit of Wipeout HD, but specifically the zone mode, where whenever you're racing, like the background kind of has this minimalist color scheme, and the track looks a little different. And I actually, I brought that up to them on Twitter, and they were like, no, that's not part of the design, but, you know, it's a good coincidence. Yeah, I was just so excited to finally get my hands on this game. And the thing is, I think it came out like 3 days early. Like, I think it was supposed to be on October the 13th, but it came out on the 10th. Because I was keeping my eye on my Steam, you know, wish list and stuff. I was watching the countdown like every day. Like, okay, just a few more days, one more day. Then all of a sudden, boom, it came out early. So, you know, I smashed that purchase button and I got it, and I was blown away. I love this game so much. Like, I've never put 50 hours into a rhythm game. I never thought that day would come. You know what I mean? That's how much I enjoyed it. But with that out of the way, we are getting to the final boss of this first level. And it's going to be a recurring enemy throughout the entire game. I don't know where they came up with this, or how they came up with the name, but this guy's name is Crackhead. Yep, it's Crackhead. C-R-A-K-H-E-D. I don't know, I should probably look up an interview and see where they came up with that idea, but hey, it is what it is. So one thing you usually tend to see with, you know, the Crackhead fights is that you see a lot of repeating patterns that you've seen throughout the level. And I've always kind of liked that. It's almost like the two of you, like you and Crackhead, are speaking a language, and it's like some kind of, like, I don't know, percussive rap battle or something like that, you know what I mean? Because the game is basically just one big game of Simon Says. You're just hitting all of the sound cues based on how they come towards you. Yep, and that is that. Oh, look at that S rank. Beautiful. Love it. Or should I say,